again to our real life program. You know, we've been taking you through the whole series about goal setting, and we are still continuing. We are winding up and helping our little ones. I know you could be out there and you're thinking, oh no, I don't have any kids yet. But you know, you never know, you may have them one time. And so you need to know how you're going to support them in making those goals come to pass in their lives. So I welcome you, ladies. Let's dive in and share our thoughts. Thank you.
Wow. I'm so grateful to be on this platform once again. And being a teacher of children, I really loved the aspect of engaging our children to also develop that habit of goal setting. You know, when you're at the early stage, like the Bible says, train up a child in the way that even when they grow up, they'll never depart from that. But if you miss out that chance with your parents, we tend to struggle so much when we grow up. You tend to find out that goal setting is really good for a person, but you struggle at it because you were never trained when you're still a child. So the aspect of involving children is so much, very important for them to, have a bright future, have a stand of, making those perfect decisions, being bold at life, and all sorts of things. So when this was brought up, my heart was joyful, and I believe parents are going to enjoy. And please share it with your children as well, and let them be at the table with you and allow them to be active while engaging them.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, Pastor Elena, what are your thoughts on goal setting in children?
Yeah, this is a very important topic because most of the times we focus on ourselves as the adults and we forget about children. But as Grace has said, train a child in the ways this child should go, and when they are old, they won't depart from it. And it doesn't have to be complicated. It could start from simple things like having a set time that children wake up, and a set time that they go to bed. And I can give an example. At home, if it's holiday time, we allow the children to watch TV. We all are movie lovers. So 11 is like the cap. 11, they must go to bed. But when it's school time, it changes. So they have to go to bed early, latest by 9. So it can start from simple things like setting a time when children wake up and when they go to bed. That's also a goal. Simple things like when you wake up, do you have a plan? I like asking the children in the morning when I'm going to work, if it's holidays and they're at home, I ask them, what is your day like today? So by just asking that simple question, you're teaching this child to know that, okay, when I wake up in the morning, I must have a plan for my day. And usually the answers are very interesting. I'm going to bathe, I'm going to brush, I'm going to have breakfast, I'll read a little and then play. But at least this child has been able to know that I have to have a plan for the day. Yeah.
Wow, that is so interesting, and it's really intriguing because much as we are sharing, we are actually also learning. You know, this thing of parenting, no one knows it all. Like, you learn from your friend, you learn from a fellow parent, and you move on, and that is something I've learned there. It has also reminded me, a friend of mine who introduced the idea of a vision board to me. And for her, one thing I copied from her, she said, like, much as she has one, her children also have vision boards. Yeah, as she's putting her things, her visions there on the board, the children as well. You know, someone is putting up a purple dress up there because it's what they really want, and it's interesting, and they look forward to one day getting that purple dress.
Talk about a purple dress. The other day I was surfing purple dresses. My best color is green. My second best is purple, but I was like, I don't have a purple outfit. So that is a goal for me. This year I must have a purple outfit.
Oh my goodness, it's so interesting that, my daughter loves purple. So when she's thinking of a dress, she wants a purple dress or a purple bag or something purple. So yeah. Yes. Priscilla, tell us something.
I'm really loving this topic because I'm also so much engaged in kids. I love associating with them. And one thing that I would add up to this goal setting thing, parents out there would like them to engage with their parents. You'll have to study the kid as they are growing. You have to understand what they love to do in case someone is interested in maybe reading, or maybe they love modeling, maybe they love watching, those fashion TV stations. So you have a clue about what these kids would want to become maybe in the future, or maybe what they're looking up to. So in that way, you help them set goals. Maybe you help them, write down something, maybe a year plan, and you're like, okay, maybe on such and such a day we shall go, and maybe for a fashion week or something like that. So you help them out with their plans. Yeah, and to add on what Pastor Elena also talked about, like having a schedule, it helps someone come up when they are really organized. You see, the people that we see as really organized and they are having a scheduled time for everything, it all came up from childhood. It's because their parents set time for them to hear from them what they want to do, and they really engage in their goal setting plans. So when you inculcate such ethics in kids, they will grow up into responsible adults. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's something that Grace mentioned, teaching children to be bold at life. So that might not be exactly a goal, but since we are talking about helping children, it's very important because the world is so competitive these days. So we have to train our children to be bold, to be able to face tough situations. And I want to give an example. One day, on this particular day, I was working from home. So one of our sons joined the call. They were doing Zoom calls, so he joined the call late. And because of internet challenges, I think it was taking a long time to connect. So when he joined, the teacher was about to wrap, I think, of the work or something like that. So I heard him saying, teacher, please don't wrap the work. And the teacher was like, no, you came late, I'm going to... He was like, no, teacher, you cannot wrap off the work. It's not fair. At first, my motherly instincts were to jump in. I wanted to go and maybe talk in the class and say, oh, hello, this is so-and-so's mom, please don't wrap off the work. But then, I was like, okay, he's handling it, so I should stay where I am. So the teacher said, no, I'm rubbing off. No, I'm rubbing. He was like, no, teacher, you cannot rub off. It's not fair. Let me copy the work. So he copied. Then they went, I think, on the second blackboard. And then they were going to rub off again. I think the internet was still on and off. And again, he was like, no, teacher, you cannot rub off. Before I finished copying my notes, I was like, wow. I was so impressed because I almost came in to help. But when I heard him saying that, I was like, okay, he's handling it, so I should let him continue. So I was so impressed, and I realized that sometimes we want to be so protective of our children, but we must train them to also be able to handle situations on their own. I thought I should chip in that. Yeah.
And that is very true. And I like the boldness thing in children. And for like us adults, for you to be confident about something is when you know about it. You know me, when I'm going to present something, and this has been a quick, a quick fix for me to come and talk about it. There are high chances that I will not present well. Why? I'm not confident. Why am I not confident? I'm not knowledgeable about it. So this boldness in children will come to them. We shall see it in them because we have trained them in the things that they know. So a child is bold enough to stand up and say, don't rub off the work because of the internet. I don't manage the internet and I don't have control over the networks. So please, kindly do not. And why does that come? because, they have been trained to speak up for themselves. They have been taught these things, and it can now reflect in them. And that's why I really love it so much to, engage children in each and everything. And one thing I would like to tell the parents out there, these children will not acquire these skills if we do not do them as us. Like the way she said, a mother pins up the vision, and also a child pins up a dress. I want a purple dress. Why? It is monkey see, monkey do. There's no way you will force it in them if they don't see you do it. You want them to, to concentrate in church, but when you come with them at church, you're always on your calls, you're always on your phone, and yet you want them to sit and concentrate and listen. Children trust so much the parents, so they will do it if they see you do it. So let us learn with our children, even when we were not doing it. Let us learn with our children, let us practice with them, and let us go to the drawing board and engage these children.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Teacher Grace. And I know, we've been in COVID era, and parents been a bit still busy with their work schedules, and then children, somehow you have to manage time of homeschooling them and all that. We had to bring in some teachers into our homes to really help us with that job. And what I'm getting is like we need to encourage parents to be involved in their children's lives, which gets hard a bit at some point, yeah? It gets really, really hard. And what are we telling them again? What are we, one thing I got surprised one day, or what I can also tell them, like, if you have a privilege that your child is attending somewhere, Sunday school, probably they are getting something out of there. Because one time, her Sunday school teacher, Joy, brought a lot of stuff that she had written, what she wanted to be. She wanted to go to Disney Island. She wanted to become a doctor, and she had prayer requests and all that. And I was like, oh man. Yeah, so some of those opportunities that we miss out, if we get an opportunity that I got one, that her teacher was able to share with me a bit of that, it changed something, and I know there is a starting point now where I am going. I know it's not an opportunity that every parent out there has, but then what do we have to tell them? Those that, they are busy. They have to get school fees. They have to look everywhere for, to make these children whatever they want them to be and all that. So the daily time in their lives may not fully be there. So
yeah, I just wanted to add that when we teach our children to set goals, it helps them to learn how to be patient. Going back to the purple dress, if Joy wants a purple dress and you are working with her to achieve that goal, it could start by saying, okay, I am going to be giving you 200 shillings to keep every day. And maybe at the end of the school term, we shall open up wherever we are keeping our money, and we shall see how much is there and see if we can buy a purple dress. When you teach a child something like that, they are going to grow up knowing there is a process to acquiring something. One of the things that I think the world is challenged by is the fact that the younger generations are now becoming so entitled. They feel they're entitled to what, and with this thing of rights, and I mean, it's not bad to talk about child rights, it's very important. But that sense of entitlement, to feel that you are entitled to everything. But when a child comes to that, goes through that process and knows that for me to acquire this purple dress, I am going to have to save so much every single day, and then I'll be able to acquire my purple dress. The next time she wants to get something and you tell her, you know what, I am still raising money for that, they will understand because they've gone through that process. Yeah.
And I like the bit of teaching them patience. Teaching them patience. And you've said that children of these days have a tendency of entitlement. And to me as a teacher, I would say that thing is instilled in them by parents. Why? Why and how? Like a child comes, "Mommy, I want some pizza." In the evening, you have it. The next day they say, "I need this, yes, chicken." You have it. They don't know the struggle. Maybe you have let go of something to buy this. So they don't know how you've struggled to raise the money for the pizza. Or they do not know that maybe you are supposed to pay a car for 20,000, but you've paid for 5,000 simply because you want to save the 15K for the chicken. So it is good to engage the children. Buy them a piggy bank. Let them save. And tell them, we are going to save for this long. When that time comes, let them count the money. And before you even reach on counting the money, there are steps, there are processes of, you have to prepare them mentally that there are possibilities that we might not reach our goal that we have set. There are obstacles that can come on our way. Maybe I've not made some money, so today we might skip, keeping the 200. So the goal is going to be affected, and it is good to prepare them so that they know when 31st December reaches and it's time to crack our piggy bank, and we are hoping to have 1M, but now we have 800, so they know that at this particular time we did not save because maybe mommy or daddy did not receive the payment on time or something.
Yes, Priscilla.
Just to ice up on what Grace is trying to say, parents should always teach their children to be understanding. You take them through what you're going through. Okay, sometimes it's better to create a priority list. You write down what your child wants to achieve. Like they can come to you and be like, "Mommy, I want pizza, I want this, I want a purple dress, I want this, I want this." So you set the priority list and be like, okay, we're having pizza on the list, we're having school fees, we're having a tour. So if we buy pizza, that means you won't be able to go to school. Would you want to sit down because of pizza? I'd be like, no. Okay, so that will enable them to prioritize certain things and leave out the rest. They will know that, okay, pizza is for certain occasions. Maybe I'll have to work for it. You'll have to perform well in class. You have to perform until a certain level, and then you'll get the pizza. You have to score a certain mark to get the pizza. Yeah, so parents should also teach their children that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Priscilla, for that input. And one thing I know that once we put in the time as parents, it really pays off at the end of the day. It can't go to simply waste. I remember recently there's a book we are reading with Abby. It's called The 7 Magnificent Hills. Someone wrote about the hills of Kampala. So with pictures and all that for little children, really. And it has given her an idea of, okay, there is a Makerere Hill, there's this building or something. So you promise her, when we go through town, we shall show you this particular. And it has opened a bit of her mind to think and look ahead of that thing. So when we get involved here, it gives them ideas of what to look forward to, the goals they want to have, rather than thinking, out of the blue, the things that really come. So when we engage them, be in their lives really, it pays off. I know it's paying a bit. Yeah, you have to sacrifice the time instead of going to bed after work, come and be there with them, but it pays off really. So thank you so much for sharing, ladies. Any parting
Just a quick one.
Yes, ma'am.
It's also important as we teach these children to set goals, because again, the parental instincts can easily come in. If you see that the child is not meeting a goal, you might want to come in to help. But it's also good for us to allow them to experience maybe failure so that they know how to bounce back from it. So if you've set a goal, like she gave an example, maybe you are supposed to raise 1 million and it didn't come to 1 million. Don't be quick to jump and say, okay, I'm expecting some money, I will top up. Let them learn that sometimes you can set goals and work towards them, but for one reason or another, you don't hit that goal. They will be able to learn how to bounce back from challenging situations. If I wanted to make 1M and I've been able to make only 800, how do I re-strategize? How do I replan? if I was planning to go maybe to Serena for a lunch, can I now go to somewhere else for maybe coffee instead? So we should also allow them to experience those failures so that they learn how to think around such situations.
Wow. Yes, Grace.
Ye-
Parting shots?
Yes, and what I really want to tell parents is, please put time, invest time in your children. These are your children. We normally say they are the fruits of our wombs, you know, and we look forward to celebrating their birthdays. Before they are born, we celebrate, baby showers and all that. And it is so shameful that a child you celebrated a baby shower for, it has now become something. Like, I would relate it to, let me say, a rag with pain, because I know I love children, but it hurts when your child is wasted. And how are they wasted? When you do not engage in their lives. And here at Excellence Chapel, me, I'm a teacher in the children's ministry, and that is some of the things we do. So I would like to encourage the parents to bring their children, bring your children at Excellence Chapel, so that we talk, we talk to them, we engage with them, because you are busy. You have these 5-6 days at work. You're not with your children. By the time you come back home, they are sleeping. You have to leave early. Now they started school. The only time you have is to wake them up, set them, take them to school. You don't know what happens there. You come back when they're asleep. And these children will open up to teachers at church. They'll open up to teachers at conferences. So I'm just encouraging parents. This is a big topic that needs parents also to be involved in. There are steps that you're supposed to take to engage these children. But as I'm winding up, I would say I'm encouraging every parent to bring their children. Our hearts and hands are widely open for them, and that is what we are paid for in the kingdom of God. So please, bring your children.
Yes, Priscilla, thank you so much, Teacher Grace.
My winding shots will just be to ice up on what Teacher Grace just said. Parents out there, well, as you do all the goal setting, you might not be able to do it on your own. So you would need the help of the teacher and the church teachers. And it would be very nice if you raise your children in the Christ-like character. When you mold them that way, even when they grow up, they will not part from it.
Wow. And lastly, one thing that I wanted to share, I want to relate it to what Mami was telling us, Pastor Elena. Not to focusing on teaching our children the success bit only. Yeah? We need to teach them how to go through failure and, come out successful. When she was speaking, it reminded me, I think one of my babies, I wanted to buy a walker, and my husband said, no. If we buy it and they're not in a walker, and they try to fall, they will just fall like that. So they will not have it, such that they learn how to walk somehow. And when they are falling, they're able to use their hands. And they know how to, so we shall not buy it. And I accepted, and I just thought about it when she was speaking, that let's not focus our children just on one side of success. Otherwise, if they don't meet it, they'll be crushed badly. Yeah, so it is very key. We need to teach them the process, the patience, and getting up from failure. I've been so much blessed. Thank you, ladies, and may God richly bless you. And see you next time.